I'm Michael Giblin with Fiddlershop.com, and this is a tutorial on the 5th violin part for the Amazing Grace group project that we have going on at Fiddlershop. And to get started, you'll find if there's a link that has all the sheet music and the click tracks that you're going to need for this group project. So go ahead and do that if you want. There's lots of, or not if you want, if you haven't gotten it yet. There are lots of different click track options. There's ones with all the parts in your ear, and also ones with just the 5th part if you want to hear that, so you have sort of some camaraderie. When I recorded the demonstration video, I have a Bluetooth earbud in my left ear, just so it's not distracting and so people aren't looking at it and being their attention drawn to it and saying like, oh, what kind of earbud is that? Maybe do you like it? Is that the best earbud? No, it's just the cheapest thing I could find. Also, another alternative, if you use headphones, I would also keep the can on your right ear so you can hear the click track and all that stuff in your right ear, but then leave your left ear open so you can hear your instrument. That's how all the studios do it. Yeah, and so as playing the 5th part, it is the more simple of the part, and so it's a great place to play. It's great even for people that have been playing for like a week, maybe. It's really accessible. A very important part though is because it's basically all open strings. We really need to make sure that our violin is in tune before we get started, and we're using A440 as our reference pitch. So you'll hear in the click track, you'll hear the drum track for a little while. And then you'll hear 1, 2, 3, ready, play. And so we want to try to have a nice soft start. We're going to try not to kick this first note. We don't really want that. We want a nice. So I wouldn't start right up here. I would start a little bit more in the middle of the bow. Maybe 3/4 is a good place. Just so we don't get this extra. And so how we want to work on, because we're playing, the 5th part is important. This is really a lot of the bass parts. It's important that we hear a good solid tone, and it's okay and you can play it out. It'll be all right. We actually want to play sort of as if we were in a bigger space, as if we were playing with an entire orchestra. I know it feels like you're just in your house by yourself. But really, and this applies to everything we play, is that we always want to play to a much bigger space, and we want to practice to a much bigger space than our practice room, because we practice in small little rooms, but then when we play for people, it's in big spaces. So you need to and also the instrument sounds better when you give it a little more gas. You can't see my feet, but that was on the pedal. Great camera presence, camera awareness. Here we go. So this is amazing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And so let's talk just a little bit about, yes, this is all open strings, is we want to try to experiment with finding like where is one edge of acceptable sound, and then finding like what's the other edge, the other extreme of the acceptable sound, and then we want to play. Then you can find the middle. But if you don't ever explore like what the options are of the extremes, it's hard to know. Okay, how do I get that good sound? So let's work on. This is going to be a little just of a strange experiment. Is like, what's the softest you could play? It's just, you're probably playing way over the fingerboard, and you're not using a lot of pressure, and it's just really wispy. So we don't really want to play that soft. What's the other extreme? If we went over to the other edge, and you'd probably play really close to the bridge. And you really get that like metallic-y overtone kind of sound. lot of pressure here on this with our index finger. Really go to that edge. Really. Even to the point where the string collapses. So this is really extreme. But once you know okay, that's the, I go to there and then I let up. And that's how we sort of find that nice sort of middle of the road. Or likewise, if you're way down here, you need to say, okay, I'm playing way down here and that doesn't sound good. Well, I know that I need to come back to the middle of the string, or like middle in between the fingerboard and the bridge, right? So it's sort of nice middle of the string. Let's pick it up. This is measure 13. We're going to play the repeat so that we play it 2 times overall. I would encourage you, even though you were playing a lot of open strings, let's work on always having a good sort of posture. We always want our hand to be straight. We don't want to do this pizza wrist business. You know, like the people that deliver pizzas, right? This is how they carry the pizza out on the tray. We don't want to play like this because we want to get used to getting ready for when we do use more fingers. So have a good posture. Gravity wants to keep, if you have your violin up, gravity wants to then help you keep the bow on the string and apply that pressure down into the string, which is really helpful. But if we're playing down here, gravity wants to pull your string down. And the violin doesn't sound good up like that. So let gravity help you have a good sound. Right? You really don't need a whole lot of pressure if you have your violin up, because gravity will pull your bow down into the string. And that will help you have smoother bow changes too, is that you don't need a whole lot of pressure going down. You can just work on pulling the bow nice and laterally. When we change strings here, this is a measure going 5, 6, 7. Try to if you need some more practice changing strings here, work on stopping the bow, changing planes, and try to work on see how little of a movement can you do. Just do it, just rock in between the strings to really see that change. It doesn't have to, it's not this big, it's not a big movement, right? You can do so work on finding, you can also practice this by playing the double stops. And then moving, so play one string, double stop, and then just the D string. Does that make sense? So you can work on going. To see those are all just little movements. You really don't have to move your bow hardly at all to get that change. And that's what we want. We want efficiency, and also that you don't have big movements. I think that's about all the things that I was going to mention to hopefully help you out with this 5th part. We really look forward to having lots of 5th violin parts, and if you have any questions about recording or anything, just get in touch with us or write us a comment in the YouTube comments here, and we'll be glad to help you out. So thanks so much for taking part and being a part of this group project, and hope you're all being healthy and safe, and we'll see you at fiddlershop.com.
Fiddlershop.